here with Northshore coach Josh Buelle, and in your first season of being a head coach, although obviously you've been around doing your thing for quite a while now. Talk a little bit about what the transition's been like for you.
It's been good. I mean, I'm back home in Slidell. Obviously familiar with this area, the community, and it's been kind of cool to come back and see all the people you haven't seen in a long time and start building those relationships again. But it's just new. It's different. I came over here last year as a defense coordinator, and obviously when you take over, full time, it's different. But the kids have been great. I mean, they've really worked hard. And I think they're hungry. So it's been good. It's been a good transition.
You had being at Mandeville and working for Guy, you had the possibility of maybe staying there and staying in Mandeville, but you chose to come back to Northshore, hoping that one day you'd be the head coach here. Mike Berg, the longtime coach, you came and worked for him and then take over. Is it because of your Slidell roots and you wanted to be closer to your side and you just felt more comfortable over here?
Yeah, I think even when I was at Mandeville, a joke I used to tell the kids a lot of times was, I was from the Dell, as we call it,
right.
So, again, coming home and being able to see family and again, all those relationships was a real big thing that pulled me back. But Northshore was always a place that just intrigued me. I think because it was in Slidell, there was separation of, I didn't go to high school there, so I wasn't, going to be looked at as the player per se, because I think that happens sometimes. But North Shore just looked like an opportunity. I think at Mandeville, Guy had established this program over a long period of time that was a winner, and I wanted that same chance to kind of build a program up from the ground up. So,
and being defensive coordinator, this school, this program has been known to have some really good defenses. So, how much do you plan to keep your stamp on the defense that's here?
Well, right now I'm still going to call the defense. With all the changes and Coach Berg actually going to Pro River late and some different things. I just couldn't get really any more coaches in here. We had a couple guys who tried to get in, but it just didn't work out for various reasons. But it'll be hard to give it up at some point. I think. I hear people say, "Don't forget what got you there." I think obviously coaching defense is what I've done and probably what thrust me into this position. So even if I do give up play calling at some point, I'm still going to have a hand in what we're doing.
4th and 1 at the 30, and it's the fourth quarter, and you're usually waiting to see what the call's going to be. It's going to be you making the one. How strange is that going to be for you? To like this time, it's your decision whether you try to kick a field goal. It's your decision whether you punt. It's all those things. How strange is that going to be?
It's going to be different. Look, I think, and I said this, and Guy used to tell me this all the time: is you don't know what you don't know. You don't know what you're going to do in a situation until you're put in that situation. So, I think everyone gets better with experience at everything they do, and I'm not perfect by any means, and I'm sure I'll make some mistakes along the way, but I think you trust in your preparation and you trust in the people you surround yourself with. And, this is because I'm the head coach doesn't mean, I'm going to make every decision in this program. I think that's why you hire the guys you do to get some input. But yeah, it'll be different having to make those calls and obviously the criticism and things that come along with it.
Let's start with your defense.
Okay.
Obviously, you got your stamp on that already. Can you let's talk about some key players coming back and the new guys and where you think your strength is.
Well, obviously Kershawn is coming back. He's the guy.
He's probably the best player, if not the best player in the metro area. He's one of the best defensive players.
He's about as good as I've ever coached.
Yeah.
I mean, he just is. He's a special talent, and he's a great kid. So Kershawn coming back is going to be big. We're going to try to use him in various ways and move him around. Drake Brantley was our starting nose guard last year. Drake's going to be back. He's going to be big for us up the middle. And then Jonathan Carroll in the secondary. He's going to be back for us as a starter, and he's just a solid player. Somebody we can depend on. So those are really the three guys we've got back. I mean, we're going to be young. I mean, I say that to everybody we're young. But I think probably our strength is going to be the defensive line. That's where I think I've got probably the most depth and experience.
Let's go to the offensive side of the football. You got some turnover there as well, but you do have a few linemen coming back though, right?
Yeah, we do. That's up front on both sides. That's where we have the most experience coming back. Up front on offense, we've got Jacob Tamborella coming back at center, Clayton Tebbs at a tackle, Danny Jokum at a tackle. And then, with those guards, we've got a couple guys vying for those spots.
You got your skill positions.
We lost everybody. Yeah. Every skill position guy is gone. But I tell you who I'm really excited about, a couple guys. I mean, we're young, but I'm excited to see what they can do on Friday nights.
Yeah.
Brandon Hines at wide receiver is going to be a playmaker. He's only going to be a sophomore, but when he gets the ball in his hands, he makes things happen. Our quarterback is probably going to be a sophomore, Curtis Hodges. He's just a big, athletic kid. He's a tough, hard-nosed kid.
Has he got any varsity playing time before?
No. He's going to be a sophomore. Okay. So yeah, he's a baby.
Yeah.
And at running back, Langston Jackson, I think, is going to have a big year.
Okay.
Langston's a big, strong, physical kid. He's going to be a junior, so he got some playing time last year, but he had an injury towards the end of the season, so we had to shut him down. And then, other than that, we've got a kid, Zion Bell, who's first year coming out. Is going to play wide receiver for us. Colin Harvey's going to get some reps for us. Dane Loyacano is another kid who I think is going to start for us. And Dane's really worked hard in the spring and the summer. He's a big, good-looking kid. But, really, that's what I tell people in both, that we lost 16 starters, not including our kicker and our punter, who both signed Division I scholarships.
Right.
Yeah. So we've got totally new special teams, 8, for the most part, 7 or 8 new starters on both sides of the ball. But like I tell the kids, no one cares.
Yeah,
no one cares at Northshore. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And then we start week 1 with Dutchtown. Again, I recently saw they've got like 17 returners coming back, so they're kind of the opposite of where we are right now. But they're one of the biggest programs in the state and playoff team every year. So that'll be a challenge, but we do get to play those guys at home. Week 2, Salmon, crosstown rivals. So that's always going to be a battle. I think it was
Coach Shooter's kind of in the position last year where you are now, replacing somebody.
Replacing Jerry Leonard and all the success that he had through the years, and now he's in year 2 where he's kind of had an opportunity to make things his own. But anytime you play a crosstown rival, it's going to be a close game. I think it was 7-0 last year in our game, in that slop fest that we played in. And then week 3 we picked up Lakeshore. I wanted to play somebody. I wanted to play a program and show these kids where we're trying to get to.
That one won't be 7-0.
Right? No. Richard. I know all those guys very well. Richard Gilliard at the office corner. He does an unbelievable job, and Craig, obviously, in the short time that he's been there, what he's done with the program, it's just is unbelievable. So but that'll make us better. Again, going into district, playing a team like Lakeshore, playing a team like Dutchtown, having that rivalry against someone that's going to be a heated game no matter what.
Talk about this district, and I love talking about 6-5A with the coaches of this district, because to me, it has always been, it's the most underrated, unsung district to me in the state. It's so much like the Catholic League in the fact that there's so much history. And these schools have been playing each other for a long time. There's a lot of rivalries. There's always a surprise.
Right.
All those sorts of things. But just talk about getting into 6-5A play and what you see this year.
Yeah, I mean, look, obviously, I went to Slaughter High, so I played in this district, and how competitive it was. I've coached in this district a long time. There's no bad teams in 6-5A. Every coach is a good coach. Every program is prepared every Friday night. It's very seldom that there's a blowout or anything of that nature. And there's a couple new guys per se, but like the guy at Hammond, Coach Jones at Hammond, who's done an incredible job, who's only been here a couple years. And, he's done it for a long time, but Hammond's somebody that you better be ready to play him. But
that one might be 7-0.
Well, who knows, man? It wasn't last year, But yeah, I mean, look, all the coaches, Mandeville's got a lot of kids back. Coach Gonzalez has done a good job. He's got a lot of kids back. So, Greg's got a lot of guys back over at Covington. St. Paul's is St. Paul's.
Yeah.
They're always well prepared, and they're going to have a good team. Slido is coming off their first playoff win since I was there.
LSU quarterback at Ponchatoula.
Right, LSU. Well, two guys offered by LSU
right,
at Ponchatoula.
right.
So and then obviously Hank Tierney is one of the best to ever do it in the state. Fontainebleau's got both the quarterback and the running back coming back. They're only going to be juniors, which is scary. So every team in this district is capable of winning every Friday night.
For you, and I used to ask this question all the time. I haven't asked it as much, but being a newer coach, I'm going to ask you, what will you not be satisfied with at the end of the season if you don't have? I mean, obviously you can't expect 10-0. Every coach you want to win every game, but you think, I know one game at a time. But what will you not be satisfied if it doesn't happen before the end of the season, by the end of the season?
If we don't grow every week. I think if we're still making the same mistakes week 10 that we're making week 1, that'll be a disappointment. Anytime you go into the season as young as we are, with a sophomore quarterback, with a lot of young guys in the secondary, mistakes are going to happen. And you have to be patient. You have to understand that and continue to coach those guys. But if we're still making those same mistakes week 10 that we're making week 1, then I think we as coaches need to look ourselves in the mirror and say we're not doing something right if we're not getting the message across to these guys. So I think whatever the record is at the end of the year, did we grow as a team? Did we fix mistakes that we made early on? And how competitive were we from the first minute to the last?
Do you think about yourself growing over the next 15 months?
There's no question. If I'm the same head coach week 1, again, it's week 10 or however long we can make this thing go. If I'm asking the kids to grow and I'm not growing with them, then why am I doing this? So it's just like year 2 as opposed to year 1. You better have learned some things along the way. And I think some coaches get into a rut sometimes and think they have to quit learning and growing, and I don't ever want to be that guy. But yeah, that certainly goes for me also. Am I growing? Am I improving? Whether it be, do we need to tinker practice plans or do we need to fix some things schematically? It can't always be on the kids. I'm big on that.
A newly married man, right a week before your first preseason really gets started.
Yeah.
How hard is that? And you must have a wife that is just, loving football and so willing to accommodate to do this right before football starts.
Right. Yeah. Well, she's the best, man. She you can't do this without a good wife, and she has to be patient, like all coaches' wives. She has to be understanding of the time. But I think she sees the passion that we pour into it with the kids, and I think that makes her happy, along with probably every coach's wife. I'm still not used to saying wife. We were engaged for a long time, so that's still new. But yeah, thank God for her, because you need someone to support you, and she certainly does that for me.
No question. Even old journalists who spend August to December in football coaches' offices and everything else. Coach Josh Buelle, thanks, and good luck on your first season here at Northshore.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Jim.
Thank you.